Hi guys, welcome to I.N.T.E.N.T. I'm your host Ronlyn, and today we're going to be speaking to Kaylin, who is a mom, a wife. She has 15 years experience as a teacher, and now she has her own tutor center where they offer support to homeschooling kids and their parents. So she's going to take us through her journey of being a teacher through to her having her own tutor center, and also take us through her journey as a parent raising a child with CP, which is also known as cerebral palsy. Hi, Kaylin, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so we're going to start with an icebreaker. Can you describe yourself in one word as a mom?
Patience. I would say patience.
Patience.
Kindness. There's quite a lot. Yeah, patience, but I'll go with patience.
Patience. Okay. Okay. Considering what you do need a lot of patience dealing with kids and parents. And then describe yourself as an entrepreneur. One word.
Great leadership.
Great leadership. Okay. 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 Those are good. Leadership and patience. Okay. So can you briefly um, let us know about your background, moving from being a teacher into having your own tutor center?
Okay, so
So the floor.
so I've always had a passion for teaching, and I've worked in a lot of schools. I've actually had great opportunities to work mainstream and special needs, which has been quite a great eye opener just to see what kids need, how they learn. Was quite interesting, and I think I learned quite a lot in my journey. Teaching
Mm,
in different schools and having different settings and see how they do work. So, also the journey of being a special needs mom, you learn quite a lot. And that, like I said, it has opened my eyes to see what's the need and why there's such a great need for kids to feel important, for kids to feel like they belong. And also to have teachers understand that not every child learns the same.
mm,
So in the beginning of the year, unfortunately, I did lose my job. Our school closed suddenly. I was a deputy principal there. And
okay.
I do pray a lot. I do have my belief in God. And I prayed about it and I was like, what am I going to do now? Like, what's the next step for me? And I didn't see it as
Mm,
an end. I saw it as an opportunity to start what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to have my own school. It's just we get so comfortable in working and earning a salary and having that support our needs that we kind of put our dreams on the back burner. So,
mm,
having my daughter, like I said, and experiencing all of these different teaching styles and teaching methods, I've always jotted down my ideas and said, one day this is something I would like to start. And this year, I think I made that dream come true. And I just said, you know what? There's fear, but you're just going to do it. And I just started, and it's been 6 months. And listen, we are doing well. And
mm.
I am just grateful. I am just grateful. So I get to put all of everything that I have learned throughout the years from all of these schools I've worked at. I've created my own vision.
For your journey also speaks to acknowledging that sometimes whatever we're doing now, we don't see the blessing in that because maybe it's
Yes,
not where we want to be. And then, unfortunately for you, when you lost your job, it's a thing of, oh my gosh, now what am I going to do? I've been doing teaching for so many years. Some people may even say to themselves, this is all I know. So where from now? I'm just going to be
yeah,
applying for jobs. Instead of thinking out of the box and actually thinking about what were you praying about? You were praying for an opportunity, for another income so that, you are able to also provide for your family as you were doing before. But we don't see how those opportunities manifest. Because had you not lost your job, you wouldn't have known that, oh my word, like I can run my own tutor center. I can actually fulfill my dreams. So sometimes we have to also acknowledge where we are now and the build up to where we are going or where we might be going. And not to also, as you said, put your dreams on the back burner. to always keep your dreams alive. So no matter what tragedies happen, always know that, most of the time, well, I believe that things always happen for a reason. We might not see the reason at that time, but it's important to acknowledge where we come from and how we can use where we come from to our benefit, as you said that, or try and get the
We
hints here and there.
you need that push.
Yeah.
You need that push.
Yes, yes. To get you out of your comfort zone. You
Yes,
do.
that is true. That
You
is true, yeah. Because we have
you
so much of fear as well. Starting something is not easy. There's a lot of fear that comes in because you have
mm,
to think about your family and you think about your stability and you think about finances, life ahead. So I do agree with you on that one.
mm, mm. You spoke about the fact that you're also a special needs mom, and you're also running your own tutor center, and you're also a wife. So how do you find that balance in life, if you ever do, or
Well,
how do you create so that?
I'm gonna be honest
Mm,
with you. Um, I'm still learning how to balance that. Being a wife and being a mother to a special needs child, plus being an educator, still running a business. It is overwhelming, um,
mm,
but you have to make sure that when you're balancing, you're not trying to balance everything simultaneously. You need to work out and organize a plan to say, okay, I'm going to give attention to what is more important, like basically prioritize, and then figure
mm,
out how you're going to work out all the others because you and rest is also very important. That's what I've learned because I don't rest. When it's your passion and when you're running something, you are so busy that you forget that you actually need to rest as well because you can't give from an empty cup. How are you supposed to
yeah.
give your best from an empty cup? So I'm going to be honest, I'm still learning all of those things, but I'm also trying to make sure that I do balance and say this is work time, this is family time, kind of thing, so that I
Mm,
can spend equal time for both. And then planning ahead and organizing is very important. um, we
mm,
can't want perfection just like that. These small milestones and these small steps that you are taking are so rewarding at the end of the day because progress is progress, whether it's big or whether it's small. you know so I try to always remember that and try to remind myself that I can't do everything at the same time and I can't try to be perfect. It's taking that by step by step, and making sure that you prioritize what is more important in that moment you know so I would say that is
yeah.
basically how I'm trying to balance everything. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I struggle with that in general. I think most of us struggle with that in terms of, focusing on one thing at a time. And when you're done with one thing, knowing that, okay, let's put it to the side and move on. Like, I could be sitting with people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do this. And I'm doing it like, or either I'm on the phone with my earphones and I'm
Yeah.
doing stuff and I'm like, yes, I'm paying attention. But it's just like, if I can kill two birds with one stone, I'm for it.
Why not?
Yes, I'm that person. Like, time, yeah, we need to just utilize time wisely. But we
No, I
also
do
need
get you. That's
to,
how I was. That's what I'm saying. You have to make sure that you have that
yes,
list and just try and tick. It makes life so much easier and it gives you that time to also say, okay, today I've managed to do as much as I can. There's still tomorrow. We forget about that because, like I said, it's always you're on the go and you can't help because with business, this unexpected thing happens, this thing comes into play, this parent needs to see you, that it becomes so hectic that you become so overwhelmed and then you burn yourself out. So I've learned to
mm,
make a list, organize, and try my best. Those small things are going to come into play, where you have to do something urgent. But as long as you know that you have organized your week and you know what that's going to look like. It doesn't always look like that,
mm,
but you just know that you have a structure and you eventually get through everything. So that has taught me a lot.
yeah. Yeah, I was saying like in general, I have that. I need to work on it. I've been working on it for a very long time, but yeah, it's an ongoing thing. And I think with most of us, we need to make use of our calendar, and yeah. We just
Yeah.
need to be disciplined in terms of prioritizing this for this time, this for this time,
Yeah.
creating
Yeah.
boundaries. Yeah, yeah,
But
that's
again, we
needed.
say it
So
doesn't
you
always work out that way. But yeah, the planning helps.
Yes, that's true. So you were speaking about, the fact that you don't always get time to rest, and there's always a lot going on because you have your hands in a lot of things. So in terms of your support structure, um, how do you go about, your business in terms of your support structure? What type of support structure has helped you um to be successful in the areas that you are?
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I must say my family is a very big support. I must say my husband as well. He has been my biggest supporter, especially with helping with our day to day with our daughter. Because he also works
Mm,
and stuff like that. But my family, like I said, I have a very big support structure, even when it comes to my parents. Um, that I
mm,
do, the children that I do tutor here at school. I must say they are awesome. The the support that they do show me, because they do know about our challenges that we have with my daughter and why I started this. So like I can say, with
mm,
having their support means a lot as well. Having family I can
mm,
rely on when I need it is also a big support. That
mm,
encouragement, those messages of, you got this today, you're doing so well. Just hearing the feedback from parents like, thank you, my child is doing so well. She doesn't even want to go home. She's enjoying school so much. All of these things just make you feel so valued and so important, and just know that you're doing the right thing. And that for me means the
mm.
world. I must say, my parents back me 100, and they are amazing.
Yeah,
And I think it's also, like
yeah,
I always say, I just want kids to always feel like they belong, feel um, that they're not alone. We've got these big schools, these big classes where it's not the teacher's fault. It's a system, basically, with
mm,
children that are left behind, and it's not that they don't get it. It's just that they don't learn in that same style. So I want to provide that and just make sure that when the child leaves the school, they leave happy. They leave with the
yeah.
knowledge of, I did understand the work today. I got through it. My teacher heard me. My teacher listened. I had one parent also tell me, how do you sit and listen to these kids talk to you for so long? Like, how do you do it? And how do you answer them back? You even have an answer. So so I just love hearing this from these kids, and I think, like I said, it's always been a passion of mine, and that's really the support that I have is amazing. It's parents, it's
Mm,
everyone, it's family, it's everyone. So I'm grateful to everyone, basically, that's in my life, and I try to surround myself with
mm,
positive people as well, so that I can just be motivated by them, because that's also important, where you can learn from them as well.
mm, mm. Yeah, that's very important. Having a relationship where it's a give and take and not just a take, but
Yeah,
where you help each other. That's very
yeah,
important. It's a huge thing that, you have such a supportive family. A lot of people don't have that support structure, especially from family. So that's a huge blessing. I can also relate in terms of like my mom is the best. Like my son absolutely adores her. She is so patient with him. And I'm just like, wow. Much more patient than I am. You spoke about the fact that, there's a reason why you opened up your tutor center. Can you just talk more about that? Because I feel like it comes from a very deep place. It's not just a case of, oh, I lost my job, I'm a teacher, let's just open up a tutor. This is the gap I see. So I just want you
yeah.
to go a bit more in depth.
Yeah. So when we
That's
first
okay.
found out about my daughter's diagnosis, we didn't have the support. We didn't know what CP meant. Because, like growing up in colored communities as well, a lot of these kids are hidden. We don't grow up knowing about all of the challenges that other families are facing, you know.
Yeah.
So when I found out about my daughter's diagnosis, I looked for special needs places, special needs schools where I can go and actually learn. Like to say, listen, my child has been diagnosed with this. Like, I need to know what this is. I need to know what our future looks like. Just to have
Mm,
that support and just to build on what I need to do to get her kind of better and what does our future look like. Because you can also do as much research as you like, but if you're not experiencing it firsthand, it's a different story. So got into
mm,
those schools. I was there for like 2 weeks and they actually offered me a job. Surprise, yes, I was there just to go and find information. So thank God for that. Like I said, God works in mysterious ways, you
mm,
know. So started
mm,
working, was actually for an autistic school, but they also had CP kids that they were attending to. Um, so I learned quite a lot from that. And like I said, it opened my eyes to see how kids learn, to see what they go through, to see what they need, to see what
mm,
us as teachers can implement to make their journey a bit better, you know? And not just standing in
mm,
front of a classroom and just giving a lesson and saying, okay, there's the content, you're good to go, kind of thing.
mm,
Because, like I said, not all learners learn the same. We have our visual learners, we have our kinesthetic learners, we have our auditory learners. So that is what our facility offers, just to make sure that we are including everyone. And it's not just going to be the ones that understand the work and they move on. Because it also breaks their confidence.
mm,
When you're in a class, like I said, with me too, I struggled to read grade 6. I'm not going to lie. And
mm.
it was probably because I wasn't taught the way I learn, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
And that broke
Yeah.
my confidence in school. I became a subject to being bullied because I couldn't read, kind of thing. And I know exactly how that feels. So I don't want kids to go through that. We want to
Mm,
build their foundation and just make sure that everything is solid for when they move to that next grade. There's no unexpected challenges that they're now going to face and be like, I don't know this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. They need to go in with that confidence. And if we can build that from a young age, do you know how important that is for a kid? Do you know
it
if
is.
they can start reading that smile on their face? It's, I don't know,
Mm,
it's just my passion. Like, not all kids learn the same, and that is the message I want to get through. And walking this journey with my daughter has also opened my eyes to that. So many parents are
mm,
experiencing so many different challenges, you know, and there's just no support.
yeah.
There's no help. We are alone. You have to now
Mm,
swim in this ocean and try to discover everything on your own. So
mm,
that is what we do at Kelia. We try to make sure that these kids are not left behind, and we try and help them as best as we can.
yeah. Yeah. So now that I know a bit more about the meaning behind the center, because I could tell when you just briefly spoke about it that it was an emotional um, point of reference for you. But now I do understand because it's also very personal, not as a mom, but also as an individual.
Yeah,
Knowing what it feels like to, to feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing my best, and yet I am. It's just that you
yeah,
don't see it because I don't learn in the way the next child learns. And
yeah,
that's something that I also learn. Also with myself and also with my son. I'm more of a visual learner. Yeah, just reading is not going to do it for me. My mind
yeah,
will wander. I'll start daydreaming. So more of a visual,
yeah,
yeah, I'm more of a visual learner. So yeah, it means the world to me, you opening up the center because it is very personal for me. And I hope that there's a lot more places like this that parents can access. Not
yeah,
only parents that have special needs kids, I mean, also kids in the mainstream schooling that need assistance. But
yeah,
all, to be honest, I feel like every child needs a bit of assistance um, overall. You can never get too much of it. You're speaking about your daughter having CP and the fact that also in our colored communities we don't see that those kids are always hidden. and
Yeah.
the fact that there's, lack of awareness, lack of
Yeah.
education around that, and parents can't get support. I do know that you also offer support to parents with CP. Am I correct?
Yes.
So
Yes.
how is that been? Like how are you facilitating that? Because I mean, you're running a school, your mom. It's, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, you just stopped there for a
Oh,
bit, but I think I got it.
yeah, no, I'm saying because you're running a school, a tutor center, you're offering support. It's, there's a lot that you got going. So in terms of the support, how is that structured?
Okay, so I have my TikTok page that I do run as well, and I do speak about her um, and my experiences and what I did go through. And then all the mommies that do respond to that, I try my best to just reach out and just help and answer any questions that they might have. With
Mm,
regards to our school, we are going to try and start a support center as well for our area. I actually was hoping to expand to
mm,
other areas, but we're going to see how that looks like, to create a facility
okay.
where parents can actually come together and share their experiences. I feel it's so
Mm,
important because we learn so much from everyone, because everyone is going, yes, we might have the same diagnosis, but your experience is different. You might have a doctor that might help me. You might have a therapy
mm,
that you have tried that could help me, you know, kind of thing. But right now it's very intimate, very small. Some mommies, they feel like, you know what, I'm just going to keep to myself and just deal with what I need to deal with. But you need to let it out. You need to talk. You need to have
mm,
your frustrations, because we call it our Malia day, where we have a day and, you just pray to God and you're like, why did this happen? Like, what is the plan? Like, this is so unfair. She's going through so much. There's so much of challenges. Help me, kind of thing, and just having that support is going to help. So I am hoping that that can expand, and we can reach out to more mommies and more parents in that way.
mm. I know for me, I belong to a support group, but it's for preemie moms. So there are moms there that have kids with CP,
Yeah,
autism, different conditions. So for me, that helped tremendously because I was just dying and people couldn't understand because, as you said, you don't see parents or kids facing these challenges.
yeah,
So it's helpful to have centers like yours and support like yours, where
mhm,
it's a case of you're feeling overwhelmed, you don't understand what you are going through personally, and
yeah,
then as a parent, and you also have to explain it to others, which is a whole
yes,
nother layer. Um, it's very helpful to have centers and support like the ones that you offer because I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
I wish I had that earlier in my motherhood journey, which would have helped.
Yeah,
Support
and I'm happy
is
a lot of people,
necessary.
Ronlin, is really like, there's a lot of awareness around kids with learning barriers, kids that have
Mm,
different challenges and stuff like that, so people can become more educated as well on like what we're experiencing. Because, like I said, if you're not going through it, you're not really gonna know. And rather go do the
mm,
research. Come and ask the question. Like, don't stay. That's what I always say. Like, I had
mm,
another incident in the mall where an autism kid, he had a big tantrum, and everyone looked, and it was like the mom was like hurt. I'm like, no, go and support, go and
mm,
help. You can see she's
mm,
struggling, you know, kind of thing. But it's
mm,
because it's so different. It's like people get stuck and they're like, okay, what do we do? And they just stay, which makes it even worse because now mommy's feeling overwhelmed, the
mm.
kid's overwhelmed, um, and yeah, it makes it difficult. So I think we need to create more awareness, especially for
Yeah.
parents or for other people that don't know.
In terms of CP, can you just briefly explain what CP is for people that may not know?
Okay, so Malia was
Mm,
prem. I had preeclampsia. Um,
mm,
she was 1.2. She was on a lot of oxygen, a lot of pipes. All we heard was she's sick. She's sick. We never got a diagnosis until she was a year old. um,
mm,
basically. But basically, what CP is, it means that the motor side of the brain was damaged during birth. That's
Mm.
basically what it means. So now through therapy and everything else, we now have to reteach her brains. It's not easy. Um, but yeah, so that is basically what CP is.
Okay. Okay. That's for everyone to know, and it also depends on the severity of the damage.
Yeah, because I think because she was prem, there's also a lot of other complications that come with prem babies. So that
Mm.
kind of sticks with them, because you don't know what challenges
Mm.
are going to come after that. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. That's true. That's very true. In terms of moving from being a teacher to having your own tutor center, um, what are is there any realistic expectations that you have in these 6 months? Is there anything that shocked you with like, oh gosh, this is not what I expected? Or is it just like, oh no, yeah, I saw that coming. I saw that coming.
I'm gonna say it's the long hours. The long hours, the work that you have to put in, the
Mm,
dedication, the consistency, just knowing what your future's gonna look like. So I would say
mm,
basically those are my realistic like with the question that you are asking. But
yeah.
communication is key. Being honest to your parents is key. Making sure that you're giving 100% is also key. That will help with all of that. But for me, you must know a lot of sacrifices have been made um, from my family as well to help with this, like my household, to make this dream become a reality. Um, so yeah, I
Mm,
would say that.
mm, mm, mm. This goes with you also expanding when you're speaking about your support structure and how your family has really been key in where you are now in terms
Yeah.
of your career and also in terms of you being a parent. And personally, any expectations that, have been exceeded or where you're like, no, this is not it.
I must say, my my parents are very loyal parents. They've been my marketing tool with the word of mouth spreading. So I did not
Mm,
expect to grow this fast. I'm not going to lie. With the students that I did start with, I really thought, you know what, this is my year. This is what it's going to look like. Because not a lot of uh, people, remove their kids or put them in new centers in the middle of the year, or, this between the March, June phase. But the amount of calls that I got, the way we're growing is insane, and it's only the grace of
oh,
God.
wow.
You
Yeah.
like I said, it's very hard. But I'm very grateful for what I have. Like I said, I did not expect us to grow this fast. I really did not.
Mm,
It was just I wiped my eyes and I was like, what?
mm.
What's happening now? But thank you, Lord. But thank you, Lord. But like I said,
Yes.
the people you talk to, the way you speak to people, the way you conduct yourself, um, I always believe being honest, being transparent, and just giving your 100%. It shows people see you, people watch what you are doing, and that goes out and they talk
Mm,
about you, with other parents and stuff like that. And that's how you gain your support from new parents that do come to your school. So I must say you must conduct yourself in that way as well, and just give 100%. Don't just do it because it's going to bring you money or financial stability. That all is a bonus. My thing is, if you can do
mm.
everything you're doing 100%, the rewards are going to come to you just like that. You're going to be blessed in so many ways, and doors are just going to open.
So, what do you hope your daughter would learn from your career choice?
Well, I hope that you're not defined by your circumstances. You're not defined by the household you grew up in. You're not defined by are you wealthy or are you not, right? You can make your
Mm,
dreams a reality if you believe in yourself. If I could tell her that, I would say believe in yourself because you can change the world. And like I said, I always learn from her because the strength that she has, and you're also not defined by your
mm,
disability. You are not defined by a disability because you can do so much. The milestones we're celebrating is remarkable. And just that smile every
Mm,
morning just helps me remember, you know what? If she can do it, you can
mm,
do it. So you are not defined by
mm,
who your parents are. Because a lot of, like, especially with the youth, they're always like, but my mom was like this, or my dad, or we were poor. I don't think I can do this. I don't have money to start. No, start it. That is fear. And I realize if you put that
mm,
aside and you go for it, you never know what happens. You never know what doors are going to open. You just have to believe in yourself and just
mm,
make sure that you go out there and just put 100% in everything you do. People are
mm,
watching you. I always say that, and I've seen it through this business with the trust that my parents had when I started the center is just amazing. I mean, yeah, because I have taught their kids before. And like I said, they've been watching and they could see the results. And that's why they decided to come with me. They could have went with any other school. I'm just a startup. Like, why would you? But because they've seen my work and they've seen what I've done and they see how much I put in, um, that made them come to our center. So put yourself out there. Never give up, especially if you have so much of business ideas. Take that book out of storage and dust it off and say, I'm starting today. Do it because you never know. Like I said, I kept fearing for 15 years. I kept sitting behind a desk teaching kids. Whereas now I feel free. I got
mm,
time for my daughter. I can see her more often. I can do so much, like things, this is mine, I can see I'm changing lives, I'm impacting lives. And that's, I think, what God wants me to do, is to make sure that, I'm giving that 100%, making sure we're instilling good values in our kiddies, making sure they feel safe, they are secure. And on top of that, they are so motivated and encouraged and boosting that confidence to say, you know what, you can do it. You can do it.
mm. Yeah, I love that. I really love it. Don't limit yourself.
Don't
Do not
limit
limit yourself.
yourself. Yes, we always do. Like I said, we get comfortable with that job. And then I've been watching a lot of them as well. I've learned quite a lot. I love that mommy with the preeclampsia shame. I was in tears, because I know exactly how
Mm,
she felt. It's like it's just nice to hear
mm,
that other people are going through, like we said in the beginning. They went through what you went through, and you didn't go through that alone. And everyone knows that
mm,
pain is so raw, and you're left alone, and this is what you hear. Some of the words you don't even know what it means, but you're told this is what
mm.
this is. Now you have to dissect that and just work through it. So yeah, you're
Yes,
doing a great job. Thank you for everything you're doing.
thank you. So what's a life hack that you have implemented that has worked for you?
So, like I said, planning is very important and not panicking.
Mm,
So, I'd take the week and I would plan the week ahead. Um, and then just make sure that I focus one step at a time. Very important. That's something that I have learned because I tend to go to panic mode when there's so much that I need to do. So the life hack that has worked for me is to make sure that I prepare a week before. Because, like I said, it doesn't always work,
mm,
but it's nice to always have and make sure that you are organized, so that even if there's the odd or strange pieces, hit you in that week, you can still deal with that in a
mm,
calm manner and not panic. Because I would tend to panic a
yeah,
lot, and then go through the
mm,
anxiety and the panic attacks and all of this because I want to be so perfect. And I realize we don't have to
mm,
be perfect, and we have to celebrate every single victory, whether it's
mm,
small, whether it's big, and I've also learned to appreciate how far I've come and to actually just sit back and just say, you know what, you did a great job. Well done to you. And just keep going, you know, and just have
mm,
that little piece for yourself. So that's a life hack I've learned, to not panic, but to organize more and try to be more organized before that panic hits.
mm, mm. Yeah. So plan, plan, plan. Be
Yeah, I know it's
proactive.
weird, but it works.
Plan, yeah.
It really works.
Yeah. I'm talking to myself because this is something I tell myself almost daily. No, just plan ahead. And yeah, you
Try
really
it. I
spoke to
promise
me.
you. Get
Like
that
you do.
notepad. Get the note. You're going to feel how calm and relaxed you are. And once all of the other things hit, because they are, it's not you. No day is
Mm,
the same. No
mm,
day is this, I'm telling you. But if you have that plan, it just makes it work out more easy and you don't panic. Because the moment you panic, you start doing everything and then you don't get nothing done,
mm, mm,
basically. So for me personally, that's the hack that I've used and it has worked. It's not easy to get into it, trust me. But once you're in
mm.
it and you planned everything, you just see that you think more calmly, you're able to
Yeah.
look at the situation and solve it in the most calm, because you must know what it's different with the when you become a business owner and when you are an employee, because with the business
Mm,
the full responsibility is on you, your staff, your learners, the parents,
mm,
finance, marketing, everything falls on you, and if you're going to go into that
mm.
panic mode when they come and look for answers, it's not going to be a very good day. Not gonna
No,
be
it's not. It's not at all.
That has worked for me, I must say, to be honest with you. It has worked. It takes long to implement because I'm so used to just being everywhere, but
Mm,
it makes you think. Like when situations come, you're more calm and you can handle that situation and sort it out in the best way possible.
mm, mm. That is true. And it's also a leadership quality skill where you have to transition from thinking as an employee to thinking
Yeah,
as a business owner.
yeah,
That
yeah.
that transition. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Kaylin, for being
Thank
on the
you.
platform and sharing your journey with us, and being so
Thank you.
vulnerable and teaching us to be vulnerable. Thank you for letting us in your world and also helping us acknowledge the opportunities that vulnerability can bring to us. Yeah, and also for educating us a little bit on CP. For all our listeners and viewers, please educate yourself on things that you are not fully aware of. Let's not assume. Let's not, as Kaylin was saying, things that we don't understand, stay. Let's try and educate ourselves in the best way we know how. There are so many avenues. There's Google, there's the internet, there's social media, there's professionals, there's a lot of avenues where we can seek information. Always verify the information, of course, to know that it is true. So yes, thank you so much. I wish you all the best with your business,
Thank
your future ventures. The information regarding Kaylin's Tutor Centre and also support group will also be attached to the episode, so you guys can have a look at that. Thank you so much to the listeners and also viewers. Kaylin, are there any last words that you have?
Whatever you put your mind to it, believe in yourself, do it.
Mm,
Pray first. Always put God first in everything that you do. And you will see that
mm,
your path will just be opened. Okay, share more. Don't keep things to yourself. Share more.
mm.
And that is my message.
With discernment. Share with discernment.
Yes, yeah.
Share with discernment.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you so much, Kaylin, and thank you to the listeners and viewers for listening and
Okay.
watching this episode of Intent. Until next time, let's keep living with intent.